everyone I think would like to know, a cool story behind all of it, is how and why you started GoldRush Rally, kind of the inspiration behind starting GoldRush Rally.
I'll give you this short version. Crazy stories. Some of them, actually, I was talking to my son and he's like, you can't say that on camera. We're driving up this driveway to the hotel and I see there is fire trucks, and we get closer, there is SWAT, there is this, there is that. I'm like, holy shit, what happened here? I think that's the biggest thing. The networking beats at anything. Heads of industries, and that puts you on a different level. You know, like I can text Andy and he'll respond. You know?
Your phone, the power that you hold
Yes.
in that square is probably ridiculous. The amount of people that you can just go, Prom Solved.
It's
Prom Solved. What do I look like I drive? Take that out. You know what I have? Dump that. Just stereotype the shit out of me right now.
I definitely see you driving.
Really?
So stereotype me then.
That
hurts. How about supercars?
I'm sorry, you look like you're still in high school.
This is the Supercar Connection podcast, bringing you behind-the-scenes conversations from across the industry. If you love supercars, you're in the right place. So let's hit it.
But I get the argument 100% because those cars are bulletproof. Yeah. These things are bulletproof. That I can't take away. So that thing, like you're talking about, the best overall bang for your buck car is Turbo S. I'll give it to you. You can have the kids in the back seat. You still want to go fast,
too.
Look sleek. You do a couple modifications, you're cranking, and it's hard for anything to beat you. So I'll give it to it. I give it the credit when the credit is due. Yeah. But my problem is, like, again, Turbo S, what, mid 250s?
No, yeah. 280 more.
280 higher. You want to call it 300?
Yeah.
I get an STO.
That's what I have.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like every price point. And what, GT3 RS? How much is the RS right now? Yeah,
4 something.
I pick my car. That's the whole thing. There you go. Aventador, done. Like I'll tell you, every price point, I would pick something else.
That's such a different car, the Aventador and the GT3 RS.
Well, think about it. But like even they go for the same. Because how much are those MSRP?
But the person, like
270
is base.
I don't know.
And they're trading for like 420 right now.
Yeah.
All day long, no questions asked. Even 300, I'll give it to you.
I don't know that anyone's cross shopping the Aventador and the GT3 RS though. You either want like one or the other.
It's two different buyers.
Exactly.
That's exact. See, it's different. Are we recording or no? You want to hold on?
We're recording. Go ahead.
Let's rip it. Yeah.
So I think it really depends on your usage. You know what I mean? So, I think like a Porsche, you get in a new car. It's under warranty. You can drive it anywhere. You can drive it to the grocery store. You can, drive it on a road trip. But it doesn't have the pull that like even a 458 does. So I guess it all depends on your usage and what you want to do with it.
At the end of the day, that's kind of what it all is. Everybody has different tastes. Every buyer's looking for something different. For me, that's one of my one knocks on them. That's all that it is.
Yeah,
I have plenty of them, but that's like if I had to pick the one that I'm going to stand and die on, it's that one.
That's great.
Yes.
What do you have? You have a
Aventador.
Aventador S. Can't beat that. I can't fit in it, but hey.
Trust me, I'm literally sitting in there going, I don't know if this is even worth it.
You make it work.
But then I give it gas, and then I'm like, okay, it's worth it.
It's a little bit of a Mr. Incredible situation for you.
Very much so.
That's what, like, I grew up playing football. We met playing football together. So growing up, I was always sad that I was small because it didn't benefit me playing football. And now that I don't play football anymore, I realized I'm just supercar size. So
hey, you fit into any of them.
I can fit in anything. Everything's comfortable.
Yeah.
Everything like Italian.
I get in and out easy. I don't look like,
that's
doesn't look like a challenge.
Yeah, because I look like an idiot getting out of the Aventador. I don't care how long I've had that car. I haven't mastered that. I can't get out of it and not look like an idiot.
Yeah, I finally got the STO trick. You put one foot in, you put that
shimmy in, and then when you get out, you got to just tuck and shimmy and go. No, I look like an absolute idiot.
As long as you don't have to crawl over that big, the tub in the McLaren, that helps.
Yeah, but that thing is, I've seen it save lives.
Yeah, the tub is.
I've seen that save lives.
You're just in a carbon fiber box.
Yeah, I've seen a driver go through a wall, and just the only thing that survived was that tub. That tub. So yeah, I give him credit.
That's why I always say you're literally in a solid box. It's one of the safest cars you can be in.
Mm-hmm. McLaren, I could talk about the McLaren brand all day. That's probably, if I had to pick, besides, like, we grew up him and I, one of the things we bonded and we started really bonding together was we both liked Lamborghini. We always grew up in like, that was like the moniker that we kind of both like idolized growing up.
Yeah.
Recently in my a little bit older age, McLaren has kind of won me over, to be honest with you. After driving the cars and getting to have a little bit of ownership experience, changed my whole perspective on them. Because I came in from a little bit blank thinking, okay, it has all these problems, maintenance issues. Okay, how the car going to perform? I got a 720, and that was like the best car I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. An exhaust.
Just that's all it needed.
Desperately.
Was an exhaust.
I hear that it's kind of like a hit and miss.
It is.
You know, I mean, doing these, doing these rallies and events, we see like these cars really put, to the test. And I've seen so many of them that, they come off the truck and the glass is cracked because of the rigidity. I've seen them that, they open the door and the window doesn't go down. So the whole thing shatters. So that kind of scared me, but they are fast. That's no doubt they're fast.
Crazy.
Yeah, they fly.
It's literally, like you said, the cars are literally hit or misses. Because everybody that I know that's owned one, half of them, terrible experience, I'll never go back.
Yeah.
Other half, obsessed,
amazing,
diving
never had
deeper.
any issues.
Exactly. They want to go further down the line.
I had
further down the line.
Actually, when I bought my Stto, it was from a friend of mine. And I told him, I said, hey, if you ever want to sell it, let me know. So I ended up buying his car, and he bought a 765 LT.
Good choice.
And he, within like 2 weeks, he sold it. And he went back and bought another Stto. I said, why? I mean, that's such a fast, great car. He said, well, I know if I have this car, I'm not going to survive long. It's that fast. So he got rid of the car just because it was just too fast, too much power.
I've never felt anything pull like that 720. It was stupid.
They are pretty fast.
You talk about 765. You got people that mod them up to like 8,000-9,000 horsepower.
Oh, easy.
It's wild.
Well, think about it too, because like we even go back talking about the carbon tub. The 720 is literally 3,000 pounds, 710 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like people who know weight ratio to power, it's fucking, that is absolutely bonkers in a car that you can just go and buy and rip it.
Yeah.
That thing is absolutely ridiculous.
They used to build these cars we do a lot of drag racing, and they had built cars that they do like 10-second, 9-second, 8-second cars. And now with like little modifications, these McLarens are doing, what is it, 10, 8? Somewhere around there.
All day long.
When you say drag racing, you mean on the rallies?
So every rally we try to have a variety of events, and one of them is a road course and one of them is a drag race. We've been like in the middle of nowhere drag racing. When you were talking about the Turbo S, we've had like Bugattis go against Turbo S's, and that thing had a wheel in the back, like the spare in the back, and stock, and it just beat the Bugatti on a drag. And it's great to see these cars, go at it. We've had a Mulsanne drag race with the Phantom, just all kinds of crazy things. So yeah, that's kind of part of the event.
Yeah, that would be fun. Well, let's get the shout out here. We're in the Porsche Museum here in Porsche Santa Clarita. This place is crazy. I've never been here.
No,
have you been here?
Neither have I. No.
This is, look, you've heard how we feel about Porsche, and this is pretty cool.
Yeah, very much so, yes. Just walking in here, you kind of feel the aura the place gives.
Yeah.
And even the fact that we're sitting down, even being able to look around and everything, the history and stuff
all the
like that.
special colors, the 918. Can't hate on a 918.
Yeah, they have everything here.
Yeah.
They're actually a part of the Galpin family, so we do a lot of events with them, and they're a great supporter. So thank you.
Huge shout out.
The whole Galpin group is insane. You go to the dealerships off the 405 in Van Nuys.
Yes.
Like the Ford dealership and the Aston Martin dealer there. It's actually where I got my wife's Volvo, was Galpin Volvo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. Gave me a great deal.
Yeah. Discount next time.
Yeah, give me even a better deal.
I would say bigger
time.
discount.
But that whole dealership it's incredible. So I really want to see the Aston Martin vault. I'm an Aston Martin owner now, so let's check out the vault. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, they are top notch. Super nice dealerships. Always crazy experience. The gas garage stuff is insane. So check them out.
He was saying that the Ford Museum they have at the Galpin Ford is even crazier than this one.
Really?
By far, yeah. They have
By far.
Well, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, they have a lot of Fords. They have my favorite, Lincoln Continental in there. They have everything. They have, I think 3 or 4 Ford GTs. So Yeah, they have a really nice.
The original concept car he was saying earlier.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, they have.
I followed one of the originals at Car Week. One day I just, made a right turn and I'm all of a sudden behind a GT40.
Oh, nice.
That's
Car Week for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Galpin's. Probably not a bad chance that they had it up there and driving around.
No.
Had like the California historical license plate and everything like that. It's like, oh, this is not a replica. This is the real deal.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows what those go for? Man, so yeah, we're here at Porsche Santa Clarita in the Porsche Museum. Check it out when you get a chance. We're here with Ramin, who started GoldRush Rally, which GoldRush Rally, if you were playing like Family Feud, and he's like, name a car rally.
That would be.
Ding, ding, ding. Ramin. I feel like GoldRush would be one of the top answers for sure.
100%.
You've created quite a brand with the GoldRush Rally.
You.
So congrats on that. And just getting into that, I think what everyone would like to know, a cool story behind all of it, is how and why you started GoldRush Rally. So we can start with maybe how, or why, but kind of the inspiration behind starting GoldRush Rally.
I'll give you this short version. Sure. This ages me. This is before there was Facebook and Instagram. Me and a few friends of mine, we started this forum that changed a lot of lives. It was called Luxury for Play, and it was for exotic car owners. And hand in hand, he went with watches and everything we all enjoy. And from there, at that time there was no rallies. Gumball was the only one around, and a lot of members wanted to get together. So we said, hey, look, why don't we do a rally? And first year it was from San Francisco to LA to Vegas, and we had 50 spots and it sold out right away. And it was a way for these people that talk to each other every day online to actually get together and meet each other. And I think the cool thing is that, you meet all kinds of people, and when you meet car people, right away there's a connection. There's something to talk about. You can sit down and have dinner. Have
Supercar connection.
Yeah, exactly. So it started from there, from that forum, and it kind of grew every year. And we ended up selling the forum and keeping GoldRush, and it kind of grew year after year. And now we went up to 130 cars. It was just too big to handle.
That's a lot of cars.
It's a lot of cars, and try getting 260 guys into a club.
Right. But mobbing down the highway with 160 cars.
Yeah. Well, 160 cars is there's two legs. Usually it's like 130 and then another 30 on the other side, so it's total of 160. But now we kind of closed it at 90 cars, and that we found that's the nice sweet spot for us. And it's either the whole rally, or you could do the first half or the second half, or.
Yeah, so you got to get in quick before it sells out. That's what you're saying.
Hey, we opened up today and we're 10% sold. So
wow,
it's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's one day. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you guys dropped the route for this year's, or I guess technically next year's upcoming rally.
Yeah. Today was the day. On the 9th, we announced our route for our 17-year anniversary. Every year we have a different name.
17 years.
Yes. Last year it was the Grand Prix. We gave tribute to, all the racing and motorsports. This year it's called the Gold Tour, which is kind of a tour of our favorite cities and the cities that we have the biggest supporters and GoldRush family members in. And somehow, it literally takes a year to plan this thing because, you pick the cities, but getting 1,000 rooms, you're talking about 9 city, 100-something rooms in each city. It doesn't always line up.
So you got to keep, nightmare,
yeah. So this year, luckily, Denver was kind of hard, but everything fell into place. So LA is where we all started. So we're coming back to LA, Beverly Hills, Las Vegas. From there, we go up to Park City, Vail, which is the beautiful driving road. So you have a couple of party cities, you have a couple of, driving roads, then off to Denver for 2 days. So we might take everybody off-roading the second day, something a little different. From there, we go up to Kansas City, which we have a lot of GoldRush Rally family members that live out there. St. Louis, which is the home of our title sponsor, First Forum. Shout out to them. They've been with us for the past 10 years and a great supporter of everything automotive. And then we end in Chicago, again, another city that we have a lot of Gold Rushers come from their Chicago motor cars, that they've been with us from year one, and a lot of participants that live there. So it ends in Chicago, from LA to Chicago.
It's quite the route.
Extremely.
It's a lot of ground covered.
Yeah.
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 Have you ever noticed all the Montana license plates on the supercars and classic cars at a Cars and Coffee and wonder why that is? Well, Montana has 3 huge benefits. It's a state with no sales tax, low registration fees, and no smog restrictions, so you don't have to be worried about all those modifications you want to do. Now, you don't need any inside knowledge or property in Montana. MontanaTags.com will literally do everything for you step by step to set up your Montana LLC and get your new car registered under it. I just went through this process with these guys myself, and it only takes a couple minutes. Always make sure to follow your state and local laws and visit montanatags.com/supercarconnection or click the link in our bio to get started today. So you say 2 nights in Denver, kind of recharge. That's probably needed, huh?
Yeah, sometimes we used to, what we used to do is stay in one city for 2 days, ship the cars ahead to the next destination, and then stay there 2 days and fly everybody over to meet with their cars. That allowed us to cover a lot of ground. So if you're going from like LA to New York and you want to do it in 8 days, you need to have kind of a jump. But this year, funny enough, everybody wants to drive. I mean, they're like, hey, you're here to drive. So we didn't have the flight and shipping this year.
Yeah.
We're driving all the way through.
So that kind of answers both the how and the why, I think. You were about to say something?
Yeah, what's the traditional blend like during the rally of how much you guys are driving time-wise versus how much you guys are, I guess, leisure activity, side quests, if you want to call them, whatever you want to call them?
I mean, 17 years, we've had them all. We've had like 12-hour day drivings. I remember, I think it was from Portland to San Francisco or, so something like that. So we've had crazy long days. I think 6 to 8 hours is the right amount of driving. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are, oh, why can't we get up later and, drive less? I mean, it's a rally and it's about driving. So we like to do 6 hours with an hour of lunch or stops, scenery. We like to stop in places and see things on our way there. So I would say 8 hours is the right number of hours. We will have a short day, which is from Vail to Denver. I think that's a 2-hour drive, but we are hoping to go to Pikes Peak, drive that thing. We've done that before too. It was amazing. So if we have a short day, we'll be able to fit more event within the time frame. Track days, we should fit in track days when we have shorter days. So yeah, the longest drive should be no longer than 8 hours.
What's one of your favorite memories looking back at 17 years of Gold Rush? Anything stand out?
17 years is no joke.
Yeah,
I mean, it's probably hard to pick one, I know, but
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's no shortage of
crazy stories.
Crazy stories. I mean, like really crazy stuff. Some of them, actually, I was talking to my son and he's like, you can't say that on camera. So we have a lot of those. But my favorite things and craziest things, my favorite things are the kids.
Yeah.
Because I remember that when I was, I think in 3rd or 4th grade, I was walking back home and there's this guy in a BMW 320, I think at that time it was, and I'd never seen one. So I went up to the window. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a nice car. Can I get in it? And the guy is like, fuck no. I'm like, oh God. So I mean, I'll never forget that feeling. It just broke my heart. So that kind of stayed with me. And now I think it's something that we all share is when we stop, these guys, like, doesn't matter if you're driving a Ferrari, a Bugatti, or a Pagani, they open up the doors, the kids come out, they get in it, and I see the smiles, and that's just the best things. We have kids that come to the track and these guys give them a ride for their, just for fun. So that's my favorite thing. Crazy things, there is a lot of them, but the craziest one, I would say, I was actually thinking about that. When we were in Austin, we rented Coda, the track, and the night before we go out, I don't know, party, clubbing, something like that. And then me and a few friends, we were in the Colony, and we go and get Taco Bell after the thing. And we're heading to the hotel. We're driving up this driveway to the hotel, and I see there is fire trucks, and we get closer, there is SWAT, there is this, there is that. I'm like, holy shit, what happened here? So as we get to the hotel, they had evacuated the hotel at like 2-3 in the morning. The entire hotel was out in the front. So I get out, and everybody's looking at me, and I knew there was just something wrong. So I guess one of the participants, I won't name any names, he had a smoke bomb that he had opened up in the elevator at 2 a.m.
Oh my goodness.
And just the hotel, they evacuated the hotel. And I didn't sleep that night till everything went back to normal. And the next morning, they call me down, and I'm sitting there, and there's a panel of the head of security, the GM, this, that. There's 6 guys, and I'm sitting there, and they're like, yeah, we have to refund everybody at the hotel. We have to pay them back. You have to refund us. So crazy story.
Yeah, that's take that to the dome. Yeah, you got to just eat that at that point.
And that's the hard part. You got 90 people on a rally. Something goes wrong.
90 teams.
They're coming to you.
90
teams. 180 people on a rally. And something goes wrong, and it's,
yes.
Hey, who's the leader here?
Yes, we've had quite a few.
You're the one that's got to deal with that.
Yes,
so that's got to be
quite a few. And we get all kinds. We get celebrities, we get football players, we get race car drivers, we get doctors, lawyers, and they all come to, have a good time. So
maybe you need to start a side business in like crisis management.
We would do well.
Yeah, you can consult people on in the moment crisis management.
Yes, I always tell my team, look, this is like just the chaos, and if it's going, don't stop. Just let it go to the end. You got to just let it roll. Roll with the things, because it's funny, because you even see it in the staff that it's so stressful the first few days. Everybody's like happy. Literally by the end of the rally, the staff is not the same. Their level of tension, they're just ready to snap. So I always remind them, hey, look, I told you day one that by the time you get to the end, you're going to be really stressed. Keep that in mind. So yeah, it is definitely difficult and stressful.
How much do you get to enjoy it? Because I know you're always getting dragged into the conversations, things like that. Are you able to really have you empowered your staff enough to let you kind of enjoy the rally, or are you still pretty
there's
on top of it all the time?
There's a saying they say, if you can do what you love, it's never work.
Yeah.
So even though, we literally, it's months and months of hard work, labor of love of all the team members putting this thing together. And I think the difference between us and every other rally is that this is what we do for a living. There is no other rally in this country that they do that for a living. There is a couple of big ones that are, they're, I won't say behind us, but we're all different. But they're all maintained by people that have other jobs, and this is something that they come and see, and they're like, oh, that's a cool thing, I'll be doing that. They do it, and it's great for some people, but for us, it's what we do for a living, and we go through it, we sleep it. I lost track of your question.
No, you're good.
But the question was, do you remember your question?
If you're able to enjoy the rally.
Yes, good.
Which basically sounds like yes.
I enjoy every minute of it. I really do. I've been driving less and less because of, we got to answer calls and so on. And a couple of years ago, I got a ticket doing 140 from a plane. So I lost my driver's license. So the past year or two, I haven't been able to drive myself.
Wait, from a plane?
Yes.
One of those, the speed radar by aircraft signs?
Oh, yes.
So explain to me how this works, because I always see the sign and I know it's a thing.
I'm dying.
You just get a letter in the mail one day.
No. I'll tell you. So this is on a stretch from actually Los Angeles to Morro Bay on highway, I think it's 101. So we go through these windy roads. There is few cars ahead of us. boom, they open up, they're flying, and me and 3 other cars fall behind. So by the time we catch up to them, all of them are lined up on the side of the road, and we're trying to go by them, and the 2 cops get behind us. So the 2 cars behind me, they pull them over. So we are talking about like 10 cars plus another 2. And I act like I didn't see it. So I kept going. And I was with a friend of mine. We were like, hey, we gotta wait. So we go 2 exits down. There's a cop sitting in the middle of the road, makes a U-turn and comes and pulls us over. And he's like, they called you in from the plane. We have you on video. So we had to get you. So it's like they called down.
Call down
people
and then
down
pull you
there
over,
waiting for you. Yeah.
So did they impound your car right there on the highway?
No, they didn't impound my car. But I had a court date. I did get a lawyer, and it didn't happen. The judge says no way, no how.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing my driver's license and almost lost my wife because she said, hey, look, I lost my insurance, my home insurance, my umbrella policy. And she's like, hey, when you start messing with things at home, that's not good. So just kidding. But yeah, that's it gets pretty bad.
I had a close one last night. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
Really. It was like the closest one I've had in a long time.
You said 17 years of Gold Rush.
Yes.
That means 17 different rallies,
Yes.
17 different cars. Same car on multiple rallies.
Actually in the beginning, what we used to do with a few friends, we used to get a truck because it's like you want to drive different cars. So we used to get a truck, like 5 or 6 of us get together and bring 2 cars. So for example, I had a 458 and a Phantom. So I would bring both. And one would always be on the truck, and depending on where you're going, you would switch. Then I've had a Mulsanne and a 488, Cullinan, and a GT3 RS. So basically, I used to bring 2 cars and switch back and forth. But yeah, I would say every year it's been a different car.
What's the best one?
I was thinking about that. So, it's a really tough question because every car is so great. We were having this discussion early on that I started with VW Bugs, and I used to tune them and lower them and drive them. And I love them as much as, my Lamborghini today.
You said Bugs or 911s?
Bugs, VW Bugs.
My
Oh,
bad,
yeah.
my bad.
Oh, yeah. So, but to me, after the past few years, for my purposes, on the rally, Urus is hands down like the best thing ever. It has room. My son sleeps in the back. You're keeping up with, supercars and hypercars and exotics, and it handles like a sports car. And it's, to me, and I'm working. So, I got to take the call, and it's comfortable, and you have a, nice seat. So to me, if I had to say for rallying, that's the perfect car.
Okay, but so that's the perfect car for you with working and everything, like you were saying. If you were just a participant on the rally, not working, and you could have the keys to anything with no budget. If you wanted a Koenigsegg Jesko, you can have it. What would you take?
Think driver centric.
Yeah.
Driver centric.
But you also still got to think, 6-hour stretches.
Yeah. So over time, I've got into really old. Like I have a Porsche 356. So I'm really getting, I'm starting to really like those cars. There's a guy that brought a Miura, and he drove that thing from, I think, Vegas to New York. And I was like, holy shit. So we've had that. We've had like all kinds of cars. To me, if there was one car, it would be a Bugatti. I mean, that thing it's solid. I mean, we talk about why we love Porsches, why we love, 911s, because, you can drive them. That Bugatti was as reliable as a Porsche. It was, the gentleman that had that car did 246 in the car, which is insane.
Yeah.
And, you can drive it every day. So if I could do one car, it would be definitely a Bugatti.
The Chiron? Or did he have the Veyron? Which one?
If I can afford it, I'll take either.
Yeah, I was there, whatever I could get.
Whatever.
Put one in the trailer and drive the other one.
Yeah.
Swap them out.
Yeah, we've had a few of those on the rally. We've had, actually, they were a sponsor of the event a few years back, Bugatti. We do a lot of work with Pagani, and they've participated with their cars, and we've had participants that own Paganis. We've had Konex X. I would say everything under the sun we've had.
918s.
We've had 918s, yes.
Probably the whole Holy Trinity.
The what, I'm sorry?
The Holy Trinity, LaFerrari 918 P1.
We had a long story, but we had an MC12, the lowest, this gentleman purchased lowest mileage MC12 on the planet. I think he paid something like $4 million for it and brought it straight to GoldRush with a mechanic and set it on fire on the track and fixed it and drove it again. And so we've had them all.
That's the money I aspire to have.
When building GoldRush, building the brand, obviously it takes a time and it takes a little bit because you're essentially in the people business.
Yes.
To get that type of, I don't even know if you want to say clientele or community, what does it take to build up to a point where you have people that can go out and buy something like that and feel like, okay, this is the community that I want to be a part of. Let me go take my $4 million car and start ripping it. Because when you first started GoldRush, the very first rally, you said it was comprised of the community from the forum.
Yes.
How are you able to build it from that community to the point where you get from here all the way where you guys are present day?
Yeah. So I'll answer that question. But one thing I wanted to mention, and I think this is maybe the main reason that I'm here, that if listened to people about the things I wanted to do and told them and listened to people, I wouldn't have done any of the stuff I've done. So whatever your passion is, follow it. It'll happen. Stay with it. A lot of it is luck, but you don't listen to people because, they'll tell you, oh no, you're crazy, this, that, and that. Keep doing it. Now, on that front, I think a lot of things in life, as I've observed, is luck. I'm sorry to say that. Some of the hardest working people I know don't have anything, and some of the, people that do the least have the most amount of money. So luck has a lot to do with it. So I think being at the right place at the right time. When we started GoldRush, if somebody wants it to do that now, the money it takes to invest into media, to photographers, to planning, it's just enormous. For us, since we had the forum that was probably the highest traffic during that time for exotic car owners, we didn't have that expense. And we were able to really start this and compete on a level that now I don't think it's possible. But that kind of parlayed into, guys like Kurt Busch, NASCAR champion, that came on the rally. He flew a helicopter to his raced, and then took a helicopter back and continued on the rally. And he came a few years. We have Super Bowl champions. We have, as I mentioned, heads of industry, guys from Howard Stern show. So I think that gives you kind of credibility. And over time, as I said, we do this for a living and we dream about it all year round. And I'm talking about a dedicated team of people that do this. And we try to kind of dream of things that's really fun, like going off-roading, taking 50 of these vehicles and spending a day. A couple of years ago, what we did was at the end of the rally, we ended in Miami. So we rented about 20 yachts and we took everybody on a yacht in the middle of the water. We had a DJ, we've had jet skis, and we just partied that entire day on the water.
Sandbar goes crazy.
So,
Sandbars go crazy, dude.
So these experiences you can replicate, and that helps you break into people that have more money than time. So if you have more money than time, then you want to spend your time doing the best things that are guaranteed. You don't have time to waste. You can buy anything
on automatic and let's experience life.
Exactly.
Yeah, go out on a yacht in the middle of the water with a bunch of like-minded people, successful people who love cars.
Yes. Yeah. Tie them all together and party the whole
why
day.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Speaking, you feel spoken to right now.
I do. Miami's my favorite place. So yeah, as soon as you said that.
It is. There's a couple of cities that are built for this kind of stuff. One is Vegas and one is Miami. Those two, they have hotels, they have the parties, they have the activities. So yeah.
Speaking of the cities now, you mentioned initially St. Louis and Kansas City, correct?
Yes.
Those two are going to be up in the upcoming rally?
Yes.
You said a lot of the GoldRush family members are located there.
Yes.
For me at least, I think that's pretty crazy. That of all the cities, if I had to pick, that would be the last two cities I would have thought that the people that are sponsoring the rally, people that are family of the rally, are actually staying at. That's insanity for me.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, we have a huge group coming out of Kansas City. Probably, I want to say 10 to 12 teams. They're all Porsche drivers.
My kind of people.
Hey, and these guys are just passionate and they're awesome and they've supported us and, they're great drivers. And I mean, that's the key thing. There's been days that, people that have come on the rally and I mean, literally in the middle of the day, I call up front, stop everyone. Thank you for coming. You need to go home. We'll refund you by the time you get home. So just like there is rallies that they take anyone, but for us, it's like you got to be respectful. I mean, I don't care if you drive fast, but there is a way to drive fast, not to put other people in danger, passing on blind spots so we've had, situations like that. But yes, Kansas City is one of the biggest, cities that we have participants from. LA, I would say Chicago, Seattle, New York, Miami. Those are the big ones.
That's incredible. You said First Forum was also a large sponsor, correct?
They've been our title sponsor, which is the highest form of sponsorship.
Am I mistaken? Are you talking about First Forum, like the supplement company?
Yes.
Like Andy Frisella and stuff like that?
Yes.
That is fucking awesome.
The Andy Frisella and his brother and his father, great friend of ours, great supporter of ours. They came on the rally, I want to say 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
And they brought then he had an Aventador that he brought out. And then he had one of those, I don't know what it is, the big giant trucks that you put a boat on them sometimes. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know what they're called. They're just these huge. So they have two of them. So they brought those out. He came out with his brother and his father, and we had a great time. And he came a couple of years, and now I know they're just way too big. He has a racing team. His garage is pretty insane.
Crazy.
But he's supported us, and he's been a great supporter of the event. And, I think a lot of friendships are developed. I think that's the biggest thing. The networking beats anything. You meet guys that like heads of industries, and that puts you on a different level. Like I can text Andy and he'll respond.
Your phone, the power that you hold
in
that square is probably ridiculous. The amount of people that you can just go, Prom Solved.
It's
Prom Solved.
It's true. I think that's and that's not just for me. It's
everybody.
Like, it's different when you call like somebody and they give you an appointment and you go and you sit across a table and propose it, whatever, to them, than when you party with the guy till 4 a.m, barely make it back to the hotel, and it puts you on a different level of friendship, and now I would say I can almost go to any major city in the country and have somebody to call, to go out to dinner with, or if I have a question, or anything from traveling to watches to insurance to cars. So yeah, I think that's the
something for everything.
Yeah.
Need a pool built.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you got a guy for everything.
Yeah.
And GoldRush is not the only thing you guys do.
No. So it started with the forum and GoldRush, and actually my background is I am still a creative director for a branding agency in Silicon Valley, which was I'm an owner of. Then it kind of went from there to, I wanted to follow my passion, which was cars. We started the forum, then it became GoldRush. And GoldRush, not everybody can take 10 days off and, have these adventures. So we said, why don't we do some shorter ones? And we started another brand called Fuel Run. Fuel Run is mini GoldRushes at much more affordable price points. That's, for example, I had a dream to always do a run from LA to Vegas at midnight, and everyone was like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna kill themselves, it's an open road. I'm like, hey, why don't we do it just by itself? So we have a Fuel Run midnight run, which is we leave Los Angeles about I want to say 8 o'clock at night, and we get to Vegas by midnight. So at midnight, that road to Vegas is wide open. So we have that, and the next day we'll do other drives and clubs and events. So that's Fuel Run. We have one in Miami, Palm Springs, Monterey is our biggest one, our Fuel Run to Monterey Car Week, which we actually started here at this facility. They serve breakfast in that room, and we drive about 120 cars down to Monterey. So Fuel Run was another one.
I saw so many Fuel Run stickers.
Yes. And then from there, during Monterey, we had Cannery Row, which is one of the major tourist areas in Monterey. They reached out. They say, hey, look, Monterey Car Week is so big. Nobody does anything here. Can you help us? So we started this event called Exotics on Cannery Row. And I think we did too well for them. So within 2 years, we had, Michelin as a sponsor. We had 30,000 people, and these guys got overwhelmed. We just kind of outgrew. And the city of Seaside took us in, and they opened up the doors for us. And now we have Exotics on Broadway, which is possibly the largest show during the car week. We have Koenigsegg brought out.
It is the largest show.
It's for sure the largest
Don't
show.
say that. It 100%.
Yeah.
We went this year, and
Nice.
I literally was like, "What the hell is this?"
One, it was a zoo.
Yes,
absolutely.
That's a good word. That's zoo.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was wild. So
From
many
all
people.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Then you're walking down and you're like, oh, there's 12 Paganis, and there's 8 Koenigsegg's, and it's just like.
So the idea behind that was, these shows are, obviously, Monterey Car Week is for the upper echelon. You're paying $1,800 for a ticket, $1,500 for a ticket. I think the cheapest ticket is $500-$600. So we wanted to do something for the people. So I called it the People's Show. And we started it as a free event to spectators. It's basically runs based on the support of companies like, Koenigsegg, Pagani. They brought out 20 cars, each one of them. I don't think there's ever been that many of these cars. So that became our next event, and it's grown. I think we're in the 9th year. And this year, I want to say we had over 60,000 people. And from all these things, we've developed so many contacts, and we've done it so many times that we started getting approached by other companies such as Lexus that they want to do an event, or we have other people that want to do rallies. Can you help us out? So we started a company called Race Day Agency. And Race Day, what we do is we manage rallies. We're just putting together one for Daniel Mack, the guy that goes everywhere and says, what do you do for a living? He has Legends Rally, which is a great event, and we are helping him with that. And now our company Race Day does events for other people. We manage social media for companies, maintain social media, and so those are basically some of the companies that we are working with.
You got to put us on the mics next year at Exotics on Broadway.
100%.
We can MC the whole event.
Hey, here it's yours.
MCs and
Seriously,
you don't have two better MCs than
the two of
us two right here.
100%. 100%. Yeah, we would love to have you guys interview. We had Horatio on the stage. We had Koenigsegg, Christian on the stage. We've had the designer of LaFerrari and all these people. So yeah, I would love to have you guys there talk to them.
I'll never forget driving around near, and I'm like, where is this? Where? Like, I'm trying to follow. There's a lot of traffic. Okay, cool. And again, I'm in the event tour at the time, so I'm trying to cut through the narrow streets, trying to figure out where to go. I make a right, and all of a sudden, herd of people, and I'm like, I found exactly where we're at.
And then there's a Koenigsegg turning left.
Yeah, Koenigsegg turning left. I'm trying to get behind another event tour, trying to cut through and get to the little line, and I said, this is absolute madness.
Yeah.
It's quite an accomplishment to be able to bring that type of community together, because at the end of the day, all the brands you have, everything you've been able to accomplish is all community based.
Yes.
And that's one of the in my opinion, one of the, I think, most purposeful and fulfilling things you can do is, at the end of the day, bring a correlation of people together that have a common purpose. Like you said, starting Exotics on Broadway for the people, the everyday person. Because Monterey Car Week, like you said, is literally built for like the higher echelon.
Yes.
People that go there, you go there to see the cars that the normal person would never be able to see. So bringing it to the everyday person,
seeing that many hypercars for free, I don't think exists anywhere else.
Doesn't.
In one place. Like
Yes,
you can go see 1 or 2 hypercars at certain shows and things like that, but to go see literally 40 hypercars at a show
We
for
had
free.
more than that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think I need to thank the guy that told me hell no when I wanted to look inside his BMW. that stayed with me, and I think that's kind of the foundation for all these things. Is I mean, just look at us. We're sitting here talking for half an hour, and we've never met before, but we are just talking like old friends about things that we can relate to. So
It's easy. Cars.
Yeah.
That's literally, again, that's the whole point of this entire thing. It was started on that base concept. It's like, because we literally would do this. And one of the things we always talked about is we were at a point when we started this, we both wanted to get to an echelon where like, okay, we want to own exotics. We want to be in the realm of supercar. But we were looking for some type of content base where we can talk to the people that are actually behind the wheel and doing this. So you have your each individual person that has their own personal brand or whatever they're pushing, but nothing dedicated to being like, okay, let's sit down with everybody in the industry from all perspectives, from people that just own the cars, people that run the rallies, people that sell the cars, bring it to the people. So we've tried to do the same exact thing with that. And through that, we built our own network and able to climb to the point where we went from non-supercar owners to supercar owners.
Of course.
And there's guys like you who everything is supercars. You are in the supercar world. And then there's guys like Simeon Panda, who, if you're listening right now, that will come out next week, who bodybuilder, like you look at his page, it's not supercars, but the dude loves cars. Loves cars.
More than lifting weights, which I think is hard to believe.
So
I think he likes it more than lifting weights.
So the opportunities that like he gets to sit down and talk about cars in a setting like this, not common. Most people that call him up, when they want to get him on a bodybuilding podcast or talk about bodybuilding or something like that.
Yes.
And he gets an opportunity to sit down on camera and talk about cars and show the world how much he loves cars and show that side of his passion. It's like, that episode just made me so happy because it was so fun to see.
You got to get
him.
Andy to come out next. He's got a pretty serious collection.
I'll sit down with Andy's ass. We can talk about everything in between.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Cars, lifestyle, why you're a failure, why you need to work harder. I'm down for everything. And that's a bad motherfucker, let me tell you. That is awesome.
Yes.
Very much so.
So that's what it's all about. What do you have right now in the collection? In your garage?
Right now, my love of my life is my Stto. I mean, I've had Porsches, thanks to my son, Ferraris, a couple of different Lamborghinis, but I can't fit in an Aventador. It's just not possible for me. Just the eyesight, I can't even see out. But this car, it's the best of everything. It's so raw, and it just feels like a race car. It's comfortable, it fits me, and I drive that on like special occasions or rallies and so on. And hopefully this year on GoldRush, I will definitely do 1 or 2 legs of it in that car. So that's one of the cars. And then, as I mentioned, I'm starting to really get into old cars. So one of the biggest mistakes in my life was purchasing a Porsche 356 sight unseen. And by the time I picked up the car and got to my shop, he's like, "You're lucky you didn't go through the floor." So this thing was all rust, and it took literally 2 years for them to do the metal work. And then once that was done, I drove it, and the engine was, pit, and I'm like, this is not going to work. So I put in a fat performance racing engine in there, and now it's like perfect. It's sound. You can turn it on. Me and my son drove it from LA to San Luis Obispo, and then spend the night, and the next day from there to San Francisco. So you don't know how long it's going to take you, but it'll get you there. Yeah. That's the second car. I had a G-Wagon I had spec'd and bought myself, which was my other love of my life, which I ended up selling. And
Spec'd how?
What color?
Yeah, yeah.
It was Arabian gray with red interior.
Okay.
You got taste.
Yeah,
taste.
she was so good.
How can you not get red interior on a G
I'm a
wagon?
G63 whore, so I'm in on
Yeah,
that.
I
one.
love
Who
that
drives a
car.
G wagon without a red interior, right?
Yeah,
I drive a G wagon.
That's
Without a red interior.
Yeah, no, I think it's that car was designed for the Shah, which is the king of Iran, where I was born. So I guess it's in my blood. And I mean, if I could have one car, that would be it, the G-Wagon. So I sold that. I had 2 of them. Well, actually, I had 3 of them. I ended up selling the last one and got a SQ5 for a daily driver, and which I will be going back to the G-Wagon soon.
There's no better car. Than
There's
the
no
G63.
better car.
You got to pick, kind of like, okay, let's compare it to this, and we can even have a little bit of discussion with this. Urus, G63.
No question. G63.
G63.
I mean, there's some cars.
G63 over the Urus.
No, but I mean, there's some cars that are just you. It doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with how it drives, the price of it, it's just like you picture yourself in that car.
How it makes you feel when you're sitting there riding
so
it.
for me,
right
that's the ultimate car.
Man,
I'm in on that one.
don't love breaking the fourth wall, but if you were picking a car that's you, drop in the comment section. What is that car that just speaks to you? What is G? Would that be you?
To be honest with you, I think
I kind of feel like it almost is now.
it became it.
You and a G60.
Before, I think I was always a fan. So I grew up where I'm Cuban. I grew up, my grandfather came from Cuba.
Yeah.
He grew up seeing, when he came here, he saw the Corvette and he was like, what?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? You're talking about 1960 back in the day. He's
Yeah.
like, what is this? So he devoted his life to that.
Oh,
So
wow.
I grew up Corvette fanatic. So that was kind of always what I envisioned myself. Then as I got older and I kind of experienced more things, I got a little taste of this, a little taste of that. My taste started to change a little bit. Now I'm in the same boat as you. I would envision, like, if I had to picture myself as a car, it's a G63 4x4 squared.
Yes. Oh, wow. Okay.
It has
a
to
little
be
bigger.
4x4 squared.
Yeah.
Supersize my ass. I need it. That's exactly what I want.
That's a great car.
That's like, and I would do China blue spec, red interior, monoblocks. That would be my freaking, or beefed up.
We had a couple of years ago, we had this guy that had a gold Bugatti and a 6-wheeler, whatever those are called.
6x6.
Barabbas, the 6x6.
Yeah.
And he brought that thing on GoldRush and drove over every damn thing. Like when the road was closed, he would just go off and just drive over everything. And so, yeah, we've had one of those on GoldRush too, the 6-wheelers. Those things are
Barabbas
crazy.
6-wheeler too, huh?
Yeah.
That's a fucking.
Imagine trying to get that around Los Angeles.
Oh, they do Rodeo Drive all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can't take it to Ralph's. Where do you park?
You take up 6 spots.
You just park.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever you want.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. That thing.
You flip on the hazards. You're not getting towed. Can anything
no,
pull
no,
that car out?
I don't think you can tow that.
No, I think it's
Probably
stuck.
not. Yeah.
No, literally, no.
You can afford the ticket, so you're
Yes.
chilling.
Very much so.
That's funny. I gotta go with a Huracan Perf for myself.
That's what
Picture
you envision
myself
yourself as.
Yeah, that's the Gavin car.
Wow.
Why the Huracan Perf?
Just speaks to me.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That was because I never thought I could get an Stto. I wanted that, and then all of a sudden Stto happened, and I'm like,
I wouldn't be mad with an STO. Don't get me wrong. And I'd probably because you got the rear wheel drive with STO. That would be fun. I want to have somewhere to throw a weekend bag. I think. Like, do you have?
that's the problem. That's the only problem with the car.
That's literally it. I would
only-
pick the STO 100%.
Yeah, that's
my only problem is I'm a psycho. I'm still, I guess maybe it's because I'm still young and resilient. So like I'm cool with being uncomfortable,
Yeah.
So if I'm going to Santa Barbara for a weekend or something like that, I'd take that car.
Yeah.
But with the STO, I got nowhere to
can't.
throw my bag.
I
with
agree.
my
That's
wife.
the only downside.
And with the
It's
perf,
the bag of the wife at that point.
Yeah.
right. The perf, I can bring them both.
Yeah. It does have I just found out, we just drove up to Velocity Invitational. We did a fuel run. And my buddy came and he had one. And I'm like, where are you putting your luggage? It's like, well, you're going to carry one. We had a car. And there is, I guess in the front, there is a compartment with something in it that you could pull that out. And if you pull that out, you can fit just the bag. So
Gives you a little more space.
There is a
Okay,
space.
so this is a hack. So maybe I'll switch to STO.
I got to figure it out. Yeah.
Does your STO have any modifications onto it?
Yeah, it's Obviously, it has an exhaust. It has, and I'm not going to name names because we have a lot of sponsors. It's got wheels. It's got exhaust. It's got an air intake. I'm not a big fan of tuning cars. Again, please don't kill me. And my son over there,
they're going to kill you guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, I believe that, yes, you can tune a car. You can, make it give you more power or more speed. But that, in my opinion, it shortens the life of your engine. I think a factory does it the best, like, common denominator that get not the most power, just enough power for the car to I'm old, I'm 50 something. So yeah, but no tuning. Yeah. It's just add-ons. Yeah.
The second you said that, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to my grandfather. Like,
there you go.
He says the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Again, I tuned mine.
Yeah.
He was like, why are you messing with it?
Yeah.
He's like, it came out of the factory like that for a reason. He's like, leave the shit alone. Do this, do that.
Believer of that.
I agree with it. Because again, I think the problem is nowadays.
You get those Germans in the white lab coats dialing it in.
Right?
Thousands of miles.
Do you think they couldn't do something that this kid out of a garage is doing?
They built that thing from the ground
with his personal
up.
computer.
They tuned it just right. They know what they're doing.
I think that's the problem, though. The only reason why tuning and that whole the modification world has become so popular is everybody lives and dies on their brand, making it seem like it's so easy to do these things. But in reality, this shit is the farthest thing from easy, especially tuning a car. Because then you have liability, responsibility. If you're tuning the car, people just give their cars up. You tune it, and the next thing you know, blown motor, and you got all kinds of problems on it.
Yeah.
But that's the reason.
Who's keeping it for 40,000 miles?
I have a lot of people. Trust me, I have a guy with the SVJ that has 80,000 miles on it.
We've seen that car.
We have a guy with McLaren that's hitting 80,000. For me, this is the thing. If anything rattles on the car, I'd rather get rid of it. Like, I cannot stand a car that, like, you're driving and something is rattling. Mm-hmm. So when you put too much power, when you do this, when you do that, the screws come loose, something starts rattling, and a lot of people are okay with that, and a lot of people can drive it, without any issue. I just can't do it. I just can't stand anything that rattles or shakes or is not perfect.
I saw something, one of the rare nuggets of gold you find in an Instagram comment section. It was like a meme about how every time you get a new car, after a while, you want more, even though you shouldn't. And someone was like, that's why I have a really slow car with my fast car. So then I drive my slow car for a few days to remind myself that my fast car is fast.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I have the 356, because at 80, you think you're about to fly off the road. So yeah, no, that's a good thing.
He called it a palate cleanser. It's like the ginger.
I would say it was ginger. Yeah.
Very good. The sorbet.
Ginger. Mm-hmm. What is the average, like, age demographic for your guys' like community at GoldRush, stuff like that?
Oh, for GoldRush. I want to say 40s. 40s. I mean, you have to be 21 and over to participate. I've had 2 situations that I've let people that are not 21 come. One of them was with the parent permission. The other guy is a big influencer that's wanted to come, and I knew he was, capable of handling. So that, and then it goes all the way to the guys that are in their, I want to say 60s, 70s. But most of them are, I would say, in that between 20 and 40
range.
I think that's
probably expected.
Range.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just thinking kind of going back to keeping the car that long. You're saying you have a lot of these owners with higher mileage cars. I feel like that's pretty a testament to like an age group thing. Because I feel like our age group, people are trying to move off cars, get into one before it can hit certain depreciation point, get into another one, move on to the next. Versus the older crowd, because again, I'm comparing everything to my grandfather. I have him. I always keep him right here. He's like, he buys it and he's like, I'm dying with this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what I got to do. He'd rather fix it, know what's wrong with it, keep everything himself.
It's like, I worked all this time to get this car.
Yeah, move on to the next problem. Then you got a car that you'd have not to do who's done the work, who's done this, versus our generation, we're more of an instant gratification.
Yeah, everyone our age
generation.
is every 6 months, 8 months, new car.
Like literally.
Experiencing new. Yeah, hey, it works. Whatever works for you.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to do these things, but I just think it just comes down to like the way that we're wired.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We're wired a little more. I'm definitely wired. I try not to be, but I know that like our generation just comes with instant gratification is probably like the biggest problem. We want it all instant right away. No one wants to be able to work hard enough for a long period of time. Kind of like you were talking about getting lucky. Part of getting lucky is putting the work in every day.
Who does? Who wants to? I would rather not work.
No, of course not. I'm not saying that. But like, I feel like it's a lost cause. The older generations have an understanding that that's the only pathway.
Yeah.
Without that, there is no point of success. I feel like now there's a little bit of a, maybe I'm even speaking more of like understanding like where
there's no shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts. But I feel like right now there's a whole industry on people trying to sell shortcuts, if that makes sense. And
there's 100%.
That's the problem. But people don't understand that that's not the way the world works.
No.
You have that whole separation of things.
There's a few lucky, and I think they parlay that into things that actually they're preaching that making them money, but making you believe that that's possible, but it's not. You got to put in the work no matter what you do.
Yeah, you're getting the success bias at the end of the day. The guy with the cars and the tons of followers was one of the people who made a bunch of money.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
But I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys do have value to give. And it's like you're successful in an industry. You've got education to give. It's no different than college selling education. You're just selling a different type of education. And that's a business model that can be sold over and over and over and over and over again after making it once. Because a lot of the guys that are like, well, if they're so successful in what they're doing, why are they now selling how to do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they can make a lot more money selling how to do it.
Exactly.
They're not lying about making 50 grand a month, but you could also make 50 grand a month. That's not like unreasonable in that business, and they can probably show you how to get there. But they want to make 500 a month.
Yeah.
And selling how to make 50 grand a month will get them to 500 a month.
Yes.
It's different industries.
Very much so, yeah.
So don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. Only reason we really bring this topic up too is a big part of why we even started this, going back to the whole lore of everything in between. We've always wanted to bring that perspective to people, like people who have achieved the realm of being able to own not only one or various supercars. How does that mentality work? How is that person wired? But like you go into it, I feel like we've had such a diverse guest group that you see a lot of different correlations. You see a lot of people that have a certain pathway versus others. But one of the things that's consistent is the experience time frame. You have somebody that's been in an industry for 1 or 2 years talking about selling you on how they're doing, and they've been doing what they're doing for 2 years. Do you think that's a long enough time frame to be able to know what you're talking about doing?
You know what I've learned in life is that there's so many different ways of doing things that you can't, maybe somebody can, maybe there's guys out there that in 2 years they've mastered their domain, and now they can teach it. So for me to sit here and say you can't, then that would be wrong. But all I know is that there's a very small percentage that hit home runs. The guys that I know, that I deal with on daily basis, number one, it's the best thing if you inherit money. I mean, if you're rich and your family is rich, they give it to you, more power to you. That's the funnest thing. You never have to work a day in your life. You're going to have a great time. If they tell you that's not good, they're lying to you. Just use it wisely and have a great time.
Shout out funds on Instagram.
If that's not it, there is most of the guys that I know that I spend a lot of time with, that they're successful. They've failed multiple times. They've been on the top. They've been at the bottom. They don't give up. They keep doing it. And sooner or later, one of these things will catch on. So if your first idea doesn't work, second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, keep doing it. As long as you keep doing it, there will be one that works. That's number one. Number two, I just don't believe that, hey, look, if I find out how to make $1 million a week, I'm not going to teach you, right? No way, no how. I'm going to keep making my money and taking my vacation and not spend any time teaching others how to do. And I have a lot of friends like that. I have guys that are making crazy money and I still don't know how they do it. This is the truth. 4 or 5 guys I know that come on GoldRush, and they've come on years. I heard this guy was making $1 million a month for years and years. And he kind of enlightened a few of his friends, and they're making a killing, and they will not tell anybody what they're doing, and they just come enjoy their time. So most people that try to preach, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe if the way you're going to show other people how to, there's guys that are like Andy. I think Andy is a great guy is because he's teaching you a way of life, that how you can make yourself a better person to accomplish whatever you want to do. That I believe in. But if I told you, hey, look, I know this way to make money in real estate, come and buy my course, for 5,000 and, whatever, that I don't believe.
I thought we were going to announce the rally course today. You're telling me you shelved that idea?
I'm telling you, that's the whole thing. If somebody was to come out with a rally course, are you trusting the person that's thrown 3 years of rallies? Or are you trusting the person that has 17 years of experience?
17 years of rallies.
Through 17 years of experience, you've gone through every trial and tribulation, every problem, every success, everything in between, to the point where you're equipped to handle every single problem.
Which is why you have the business you were talking about where you're
doing it for other people.
Yeah,
that's what it. I mean, again, there is something to be said about being a professional. You know what I mean? I mean, this is what we do, and we've said that actually on some of our videos before. This is what we do is like a tagline thing, but literally, this is what we do. I don't go home and do banking or do anything else. This is, we sleep it, we dream it, we plan it, we do it all year round. That's all we do. And there's always things that happen that you didn't plan for, but it's the experience of doing all these things that allows you to handle that kind of, turmoil or whatever that might be. So, yeah.
Can I ask you a little bit more of a sentimental question?
Yes.
How has it been being a father through the 17 years of GoldRush and experiencing, like, I'm sure your son's come on a couple of them.
Yeah.
Majority of them, I assume.
Yeah.
How has that experience been?
I've had friends that, it's not just the rallies, it's just the car. I think it's like they say, it's a passion, it's a disease. I have friends that are crazy about cars, and their kids couldn't care less. I was lucky enough to, my son has the same kind of passion for cars and, for this lifestyle as I do. So from when he was a kid, I remember when he was really little, I had a Porsche and I would put him in the back seat and he would sleep right away from the vibration. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. So he's a car guy. We've been going to Monterey Car Week since he was like 8-9 years old. And now, he started coming with me on the rally like a few days, one day to start. And now he's actually, I'm proud of him. He finished his school. That was a thing for me. He had to get his education. And now he works with me and we work together and, we get to do all these things together. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yeah.
That's my dream.
He's the future of GoldRush.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we have a great team. We have, I think, it's the entire team. There is, guys and girls that really, help build this brand. And I think it's everyone together. It's not one person. I think, everybody has their job, and my job is the final say, because there will be issues that somebody needs to put their neck out and say, no, this is, if this is the two ways, you got to go this way. Somebody's got to make that decision. And I think that's my job. But then we have a great team of people that actually, my son has joined the past 2 years. He's at the bottom of the poll, but he's coming up. So
he's got to pay his dues.
He does.
He's got to pay his dues.
Yes,
or else there's no value to it.
Yes, he does.
I get that 100%.
So some of these hypers you've had on the rally, and like you said, Pagani as a sponsor and stuff like that. Have you driven Pagani, Koenigsegg, Bugatti, all of them?
Not all of them, but some of them.
So,
yeah.
Like driving a Pagani. You driven a Pagani?
Bugatti.
Bugatti.
Yes.
So driving a Bugatti, what is that experience like differing from? Because there's a certain dollar amount correlated with that. You're driving a house.
Yeah.
A nice house.
Well, I mean, I think these days, depending on where you live, I mean, I hear the new Lamborghinis, the base is like going for 800, which is a house in 90% of the country. So most of these cars are houses or apartments now. But I never even thought I would have a Porsche, let alone a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or any of these things. So to me, once I passed that, little thing, the rest is just, fantastic. But the difference with the Bugatti for me was it just felt like a spaceship. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about anything else but the car and its performance. And you're like an instant rock star. I mean, of course, same for Lamborghini. If you go, not in LA, everybody has these cars here. But I remember I went to the first F1 race at Coda and I rented the Mustang and everybody was like, hey, so I'm like, oh, it's just a Mustang. But it was a big deal there, But this thing it was just an instant rock star. I mean, you drive a Bugatti and you're instantly a rock star. And it felt different, it didn't feel like a Ferrari. It didn't feel like a Lamborghini. It was just a whole lot more. So I can't really explain it, but you literally feel that, whatever it is, the 16 cylinders behind you and the power and the...
Some of these experiences are hard to explain, hard to put in words.
Very much so.
Tough to put in words.
Very much so. Very much so. It's almost like you're driving the Bugatti and everything outside of the car doesn't matter.
100% true.
It's only that moment inside. You're looking at the moniker on the steering wheel and you're trying to, as hard as you can, emulate the feeling you get here, the feeling you get here.
Yeah.
And the outside world just becomes numb.
Yes.
And it's just all car.
Yeah.
That's what I would describe it as if I had to try to pinpoint.
Yeah, I agree. Experience. And I mean, if you really think about it, if you drive a Porsche, you're sitting in a Porsche. It feels different. If you drive a Ferrari, its engine is an engine, but the engine, the way it beats the heartbeat of the car, it's like in every car, it has a unique feel to it. Mm-hmm. Ferrari is just that, raw, very precise. I love Lamborghini. For me, it's Lamborghini. That's my brand. It's got the power. It's almost like a Italian muscle car. I think Porsche is a precision track tool. The RS that I had it's not the fastest, but it's a whole car. Ferrari is just very finicky, it's like a fine woman, but Lamborghini is like a muscle car. Yeah. You don't have much visibility. You don't care what's behind you. You're just looking dead ahead.
It's sound and dead ahead.
That's it.
It. Throw everything else out the window.
I gotta ask this question because we said this before we asked this before we started, and I mean we're in the Porsche Museum, so we started talking about Porsche, and we haven't touched on Porsche that much today. But you asked earlier if you at $130,000, if you would take a base 911 Carrera over a C8 Z06, what would you take?
You're asking me that question?
I know what you would take.
Z06.
What would you take?
No question, Porsche.
No question, Porsche.
Ramin, you're sick. I don't know. I don't understand. Explain yourself. I'm trying to understand your
the same way we talked about the G-Wagon, there's certain cars that you just close your eyes and you can sit in it. I could never sit. I mean, it's not for me. Corvettes are not for. I would most likely the only Corvette I would own would be a split window 63. That 1 year that they built that car, that it was a mistake. That the whole window thing in the back, and they took it out. I would love to own that car and drive it every day. And actually, I was just at the coffee shop near my house, and I take my car for a drive, and I get to the coffee shop, and I get out, and there's Seinfeld and Jay Leno sitting in the front of the coffee shop having coffee, and Seinfeld had a Speedster, and Leno brought a 63 Corvette split window, and they were both parked in the front. So I would drive, that would be the only Corvette. Nothing against Corvettes. They're probably the best bang for your buck, especially the new ones, but it's just, I can't picture myself in one.
I'd take a Z06.
Is it the correlation to the moniker that does it for you, or is it the actual car itself?
The fact that it's a Chevy?
Like, is it the fact that it's Corvette and it's GM, or is it the fact that it's just the car that doesn't do it for you?
I couldn't tell you. it's just, I mean, I know it's probably faster than anything I've driven. I know it's the best bang for the buck, but I don't see myself as a Corvette. I mean, there's a certain type of guy that would drive a Corvette.
Oh,
I could
absolutely.
see you driving a Corvette.
Me?
Yeah. I could see you driving a Corvette, but you know, I mean,
I don't know if I'm offended or not.
No, you don't like Corvettes?
No, I'm. Why is that so funny?
I don't know why.
I like Corvettes. I like Corvettes.
Yeah, see?
My dad is a huge Corvette fan.
See?
I know, shocking, right? But I'd rather drive a Lambo. It's probably not a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But I would take a Z06 over a base 911.
I'll take the 911.
I've driven them both. To all of you that want to,
Yeah, talk about we don't. Yeah.
talk about, we don't know. I've driven them both.
What do I look like I drive?
I know what you drive.
What do I look like I drive? Take that out. You know what I have? Dump that. Just stereotype the shit out of me right now.
I definitely see you driving a Aventador.
Really?
Yeah, you got a little bit of that douchebag side in you, right? Yeah, we all do Lambo.
That's what I went for. That's what I went for. So
yeah, we all got that little.
For me, that's a huge win.
I'll tell you this funny story. So we were at this event, and I had my my first Huracan that friend of mine, the owner of Warsteiner, he built it for me. They did the full body kit. So there's a video. I pull into this track event and I pull over, and there's a guy in the background yelling, "Hey, look at this douchebag, Lamborghini douchebag." So I saw that video. I was on a forum and I'm like, whoever this guy is, they need to ban these people, from car events. What a insulting thing. And it ended up being my very good friend. But yeah, it's Lambo douchebags are. I think we both fit in.
It's a denounced thing.
Yes,
it really is.
I
feel like
I fit in that? I don't fit in that.
No, you're not a douchebag.
You're too nice.
You're a good guy.
I grew up a Lambo fan.
Yeah.
So so stereotype me then.
Corvette.
Corvette? That hurts. How about supercars?
I'm sorry, you look like you're still in high school, but
a new
you
Corvette,
look so
or like
young.
an older, like a C7.
So it's my daddy's Corvette.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You look so young.
Brought dad's Corvette.
Yeah, I mean, you don't look
That's
like
a
a
clip.
Ferrari
This
or a
is a clip.
Lamborghini guy because you're just too young.
I'm older than he is.
How old are you?
29.
Oh God, how old are you?
26.
Oh boy, you guys are young.
We're children.
Yeah, good for you.
No, thank you. But
So Corvette, final answer.
you have no idea. You made my day with this.
I'm
With this
sorry.
car
Hey,
right now.
it's okay.
You have no.
I don't hold it against you. I think it's a fair answer. It just
Nobody's gonna see this video.
just makes me a little sad. I'm cutting all of this out.
Everybody's gonna see this video.
This 10 minutes won't see the light of day.
You want to rip the 3?
Yeah, guess questions.
Let's do it.
So, end of every episode, every guest gets the same questions.
Okay.
So,
We chose not to prep you because I want your raw answers.
I'm ready.
I've been judging you this entire episode, but now I'm really going to get harsh with my judgment.
No
on you
worries.
based on these answers.
You got it.
this one, everyone loves this one. What's the most overrated car today? Ramin loves all cars.
The most overrated
My ass.
car.
The Corvette.
I'm sorry, it got to be a
CO6.
McLaren 720.
Really?
Yeah.
The McLaren 720.
Yeah.
That's a unique answer.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I just fucking knifed to my heart
I've
right
seen
now.
so
Y'all
many-
really been connected.
No,
I know. I thought we were
G-Wagon,
bonding, and now I feel like we're
Lambros.
over here now.
I'll tell you why. I've seen so many things go wrong with that car on the rally. I've seen so many things break, so many things crack, so many things fall off, so many things rattle.
That's fair.
So, I mean, I know it's a great car, and it is a new company. Relatively, it's a new company. So don't take me wrong, it's a great brand. They're doing fantastic things, but I've just like they're having their issues, their growing issues, and to me, it's like I can't do 720. It's just I can't deal with anything falling off my car.
That's fair. They need to hire Frank Steffensen back to design cars again.
It's a very fair answer, though. As much as it kills me the fact
Yeah.
that you said
No,
that,
they're
I
great.
get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause it's a love-hate relationship.
I can't. It's like some of my friends have it, and there's never anything wrong with it, and they're wonderful cars. But there is a percentage that they have problems, and I don't think any car that's been out for 4 or 5 years should have any issues. I mean, they should have worked it out. It should be just solid.
2020 and up is pretty good.
Yeah.
19 and 18,
Probably.
nightmares.
Probably.
Or at least the chance of a nightmare is like 9 out of 10 versus 20/20
Electrical
up
issues.
is like
Yeah.
70/30. Maybe I'll give it 70/30, make it look a little bit decent.
I mean, that's the only reason I say overrated is because of that. I mean, I'm.
Hey,
What is your
you've got
most
an answer.
overrated car?
You've got your reasons.
Yeah.
So,
How about you guys?
He threw it back at you or us.
yeah, go ahead.
You got it first, big guy.
I don't know
He
if
asked
I
you.
do.
He asked
Well,
you.
I'm not prepped for this question.
No, neither was I. let's.
Hey, you got me. Base 911 Carrera. Final answer.
Oh,
$130,000 for a 380 horsepower car. I know horsepower is not everything.
Yeah.
But I've driven one 992, and like objectively, is it a good car? Yes. Is it $140,000
Yeah.
car? It's not.
I get it.
It's not a $140,000 car.
I
So
get it.
at that price point, there's like multiple other cars I would pick. So it blows me away that people pay that. But I mean, you know, people pay it. So I guess that's what it is. It's the market.
I get it.
I think probably for me is probably the F8 Tributo. For me, overrated.
Really?
Really. Having driven like a wide range of just the Ferrari brand.
Yeah.
When I got into that car specifically, I expected more in every realm. The way it felt steering wise,
Wow.
the way it put down power, the way it shifted everything. It just felt very like,
Never driven one.
I don't
That's
want to say
interesting.
numbing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, okay, Ferrari Roma would have been my answer, but it's not.
Jeez.
It's not overrated because I don't hear anybody
no one
talking
rates it.
how great that car. And this is me saying this in the nicest, most humbling way possible. Nothing to do with Ferrari moniker. The Ferrari Roma is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever laid eyes on and driven in my entire life. And I say this so seriously. That car, I don't even understand what that car is, to be honest with you.
Now, let me ask you this. Would you take that or a 911? Even though there is a big price difference.
Would I take
the Roma?
The
Yes.
Roma or the 911?
Yeah, which one?
I'd still take the Roma.
Oh, God.
Would you really?
No.
After driving it, after we did all that.
Well, do I
driving
have to pay for it, or is it just like you can have this or this?
You can have this or this.
I'd take the Roma.
But you have to drive it for 4 years and it'll be your only car.
I'm taking the Carrera. I'm just letting you know. That might be the only time I'm taking the Carrera because I hated the Roma.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, I might be with you.
It was weird driving that car. And now we're on the Roma away from the F8, which I don't mind even getting into. But it slipped in third gear, which I thought was super weird because it doesn't have that much power where you'd think it would slip like that.
Yeah.
A. B, the way that it shifted, the way it put power down, it didn't. The point of the car was to be, in my opinion, like a combination of a GT and a performance car. But this one was like, it wasn't a GT and it wasn't a performance car. And it didn't blend the two.
Yeah.
It just kind of muttered in every time. It wasn't comfortable enough where I'm like, okay, at least it's. I could daily this shit. I was sitting there and I was like, this sucks.
It's not. The seat is hard. It's not comfortable, and then it's not particularly fast or exciting.
You want me to tell you the number one tick, and this is going to sound really childish when I say this.
Yeah.
The reason why I hated it the most, the Apple CarPlay in the car. The car has a center console kind of similar to like the Huracan, where it's got that big center screen where it's everything, the infotainment's right there. You would think, okay, you plug in your phone, that's where everything's going to be displayed. Ferrari, for whatever reason, decided to have the bright idea. So where your speedometer is, when you plug in your phone for the Apple CarPlay, they said, okay, if you're going to have CarPlay, you obviously don't need the speedometer. So they just dumped that shit, and you have CarPlay right down center.
Wow.
And you have no speedometer or RPM. No
That's
tach.
insane.
So now you're just driving on vibes and maps. That's it.
You have the speedometer down in the corner. They moved the speed digitally down in the corner, but you're like,
gone.
your tach
that
is
still
gone.
beats a friend of mine offered me to take his i8 on GoldRush one leg. And I took it and everything went out. The car fully ran, but there was nothing. There was no speed. Everything turned off. And I had no option but to drive this thing. And it's just the weirdest thing. You're driving this thing going like whatever, 120, 180 miles an hour. There's nothing. There's no sign of how much gas you got, how fast you're going.
You said the i8?
Yeah.
Did you fit in that thing?
Barely.
Because the way that seat configuration is kind of like,
I've never been in one
ever.
I don't really have any desire to.
it's a weird. It's got like a kind of like the tub. You step in like a tub, but then the seat, the way the seat is, it's
just
like
really odd.
It does that one might be the only other car that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that car is I'm sorry. That is the worst car. Yeah. no, I forgot.
I love how matter of fact that was. That was
far-
perfect. I'm sorry.
by
Actually,
That
now
is
I
the
think
worst
about
car.
it, This is dog shit.
By far that's worse than
Wonderfully
70, yeah.
delivered.
Yeah, F8 Tributo, my answer for the most overrated car.
So that's your question one.
Yes.
Oh, that did you ask the question?
Yeah, no, that was, now we're on to the second question now.
What's the
We gave
second?
our answer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is the most underrated car?
Oh, underrated. Yeah.
Underrated car. The most underrated car.
It's always a little tougher.
It is.
That's a tough one.
There's a lot of good cars out there. There really is. Whichever one you feel.
I mean, you're talking about exotics or
honestly, whatever you want. Whatever you think, whatever car doesn't get the light that it should for X amount of reasons.
Honda Civic.
Okay, we
know,
dialed it back too much. Let's click it forward and we dial. I gave you too much freedom on that one.
He took it and
Most
ran.
underrated car.
He did take that motherfucker and ran with it.
Bentley Mulsanne.
Yeah. Oh my God. That thing is insane. That's true. Actually, come to think of it, I drove one on Gold Rush. That thing is so understated. Nobody knows what it is. It's nicer than a Rolls Royce. It's got like a monster 6-liter engine in there. The inside of it looks like an Italian purse. You know, it's comfortable. I would say, that's definitely the most
I
underrated
heard you
car.
mention it a couple times, and I'm like, this is one of those cars that really flies under the radar.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
Never
if you
experienced
have
that.
more money than you know what to do with, and if you want the most luxurious, comfortable car, Bentley.
They're gorgeous too.
They're just like, nobody knows what they are, but they're just crazy nice.
I didn't realize they were like this. What an answer.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, no, good.
glad to
one.
help you out tonight.
Yeah. No, I changed my answer. So Mulsanne, and then what was the other one? I8.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, saying
That's it.
I don't know. It's hard to say that the i8's the most overrated.
Overrated.
Oh yeah, that was.
I don't think it's even rated.
Yeah,
that's
the thing.
exactly why.
And
No one's out
it's
here.
not really overrated because everyone
not
hates
rated.
it.
If anybody stands
It's
on an
accurately
i8,
rated.
Yeah.
It's not overrated.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you. If anybody stands positively on the i8, I don't even want to have a conversation with you. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
true.
only i8 owners are course sellers.
that aren't making sales.
No, they're if there's a person in an i8 selling you a course, do not buy.
Do not buy it.
Do not buy. They are making no money.
True.
You don't want
Very
what
true.
they have. You don't want what
yeah.
they're selling.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Chris Crone used to push the i8. Can't stand that guy. Anyway, sorry.
Ready
No
for the next
negativity on the pod.
No.
Yeah, last question. 3-car garage, no budget.
Ooh. Has to
So
be 3 cars.
Yeah, it's got to cover all your bases.
Fit your current lifestyle.
Easy.
Easy.
G-Wagon, Gullwing, Stto.
All right.
Not bad.
Okay.
That would. I mean, hey, look, I could say Pagani, Bugatti. I can't be driving a Bugatti around like that. Stto, it's got everything I need as far as speed, agility, handling, looks. I love that car. I really do. I mean, if price is no object, I mean, if I could get it and then sell it and buy 5 other cars, yeah, give me a Bugatti. I'll drive it and sell it and buy 5 cars. But just for what it is, Stto, love of my life, G-Wagon, perfect daily car. And then I would like to upgrade my 356 to a Gullwing and drive it every day. So those would be the 3.
The Gullwing. That's the ultimate classic.
Oh, yeah. Today, my son sent me a picture of a black one with the red interior on PCH that I was driving today. I was like, yeah, I mean, to me, someday, if I can, that will be my first purchase.
Yeah.
And drive it every day.
Beautiful cars.
I love it.
Jay Leno's got one.
Oh, yeah. Jay Leno has everything.
Jay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll have him on one day. Jay, I know you're not listening, but you'll be on here one
No,
day.
you never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching.
You never
Jay,
know what's watching.
you might be listening.
Or you can catch
You'll
him
be
at
on
the
here one
coffee
day.
shop in Malibu. He's always there.
I know. I just got to corner him one of these days. That denim shirt. Hey, Jay, we talk about cars. We love them just like you. Pass on the passion. Sit down with us.
He probably would, as much as Seinfeld wouldn't even touch you guys, because you know that he's very, yeah. But I mean, every time I've seen Jay, he's so gracious and friendly, and so he probably
I've
would.
always heard. That's what everyone says.
Yeah,
Everyone loves Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally.
he's a great guy.
We're working on Manny right now.
Manny Khushbin.
That's what I want.
I've met him a few times. Great guy. Very nice guy. I've known him since before we started GoldRush. Very nice collection, and more power to him.
Very much so.
Yeah. He's also from Iran, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yes. His family, I believe he was born there, I believe. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
he was.
He really worked very hard to get to where he is. And I've read his stuff, and all kidding aside, I don't know about his course, but I'm sure if he has a course, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he's been...
Little side lore. I didn't get to ask you this when you mentioned it because we dove right into it. But you said that you were, again, Iranian background. Were you born there as well, or were you born here?
I was born in Iran during the revolution. My family, they're minorities. They're not Muslims. So when the war started, I had to escape. So I escaped on foot. I escaped to Turkey and age of 13, and I got caught entering the country illegally. So I went to jail for a while. And after Turkey, I went to Europe, and I came here as a political refugee. So owe everything I have to this country. And
it's beautiful.
That's the story.
It's incredible.
Literally beautiful.
Yes.
Again, like I told you, I resonate with that because without my grandparents doing a similar dynamic,
Same
I wouldn't
thing.
be able to sit right here on this mic talking to you.
Greatest country on earth. I hope, I think one thing people here take their freedom as granted. They think it's their right. It's not your right. Some people gave their lives for you to have this. So don't take it for granted. And, I'm just very appreciative to be here and to have this opportunity to raise my family here, where your only worry is taxes and death, as opposed to somebody knocking on your door and,
Taking everything you have.
Exactly. So we're lucky to be living here in the greatest country.
The whole theme, how many times you've mentioned luck, just being here. If you wake up in this country, you're lucky.
You're lucky.
From the start.
Believe me, you're lucky.
You won the first lottery. When
you won that sperm lottery, lucky sperm of the month.
So,
but yes.
Anything else you want to cover?
I think we covered everything I wanted to. Yeah. This was an amazing episode.
Thank you.
Truly appreciate you sitting down and chopping it up with us.
Yes,
and
thank you.
I'll take you up on the Monterey thing. You guys are more than welcome to come and run the show.
All right, we appreciate it.
It'll be fun.
We'll
take you right back up on that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, I love attention.
Hey, you got it.
So I put myself on the internet. Thank you. Plug all your socials. Where can people find you?
GoldRush Rally, my personal Instagram. I would love to have you guys follow and keep updated. It's RAWMEAN, different spelling of my name. That's a nickname. My friends, they said, you look mean, and, they said Ramin, so why don't you put raw and mean? So it became Ramin. And Fuel Run, Race Day Agency, Exotics on Broadway, and GoldRush Rally. So
beautiful.
Love to
Building
keep
an
in
empire.
touch.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you. This has been incredible.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for locking down this awesome location.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Huge shout out to Porsche Santa Clarita for letting us shoot here.
Thank you.
Yep. This is Supercar Connection. We're out.
We're out.